I had a very interesting childhood. One that I thought was normal until a certain age. So, in our house, we were never exposed to any type of safety. The only thing that one could do, really, was to try to stay out of the line of fire. I started to be able to observe, and I could start to see when she was about to head into a situation where she was going to get riled up and somebody was going to get it. Generally, it was me. And every now and again you would hear just scream across the house, "Come here, Violet, get in here, Violet." And that was a deep cut, psychologically, emotionally. But we had to take it. I mean, you just had to take the pain. But so yeah, the verbal abuse, the psychological abuse was almost worse than the beatings, because the beatings were just physical pain, and the physical pain you learn to deal with, you learn to accept it, you learn to deal with it. But the psychological and emotional abuse, that's what kind of tore us up, I think. There were a couple of times when it got too far that I could see his eyes welling up as he was staring at her, saying nothing. And then the most that he would do is he would punch a wall. I once saw him punch a wall and shatter his hand because it wasn't drywall, it was proper concrete, steel wire and rebar and things of that nature. And I kept wondering why does he take it? How does he take this? And why doesn't he leave? But he didn't. He was able to maintain his calm and his composure. He was a good man. He is a good man. And I had no power to change what was inside of her, you know. And she walked in the door and stopped and just looked around like she felt something. And I took her car and drove to my father's work. And I sat down in front of him at 15 and I said, "Listen, it seems as though somebody stole all your clothes out of the closet." And he said, yeah. He said, "I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I can't live it anymore." you're the man. You're the man now. And those words didn't quite sit well with me. I didn't feel like I was ready to hear those words. But that's what I got. Then my mom went into a very, very dark place, a very deep, dark depression, as you can imagine. And one afternoon I woke up, I'd fallen asleep, and I woke up and walked out into the living room, and I saw my, very feebly, and like almost, it was like a slow motion crawl. If I could stand up, I could show you just what I saw. I saw, in that mode. So instantly, I knew that something was dreadfully wrong, and there was drool coming out of her mouth. As I was about to run and call, the front door busted open, and two paramedics came in and threw her on the gurney and whisked her out of the house to get her to the hospital to pump her stomach. She had swallowed a multitude of pills to try to take herself out, to try to commit suicide. And when she got out of the hospital, she was a small firecracker of a woman. She was about 5'2". But when she got out of the hospital, the depression was so deep. She was down to, like, she lived on the couch and she weighed about 70 pounds. And that, all that imagery spun into my head at that time, that I thought that was in my head at the time, I thought that, and I was deeply upset by that. Until years later, where I asked him what really happened, how did it happen when I was older, and he told me the story. I was very disappointed in him, because I started to believe that his exit was sneaky, cowardly. And
what have you learned from your experience in your childhood?
I'll tell you one thing that I learned. That was one of the best lessons I believe I've ever learned in my life, ever could learn in my life, was based on my experiences as a child and what I'd seen and experienced. I knew exactly how to raise children. I knew exactly how to raise children, which was to do the opposite of what they did, of what Betty Sue did. Never raise your voice in front of the children, never. Screaming out the word no to them I never wanted to tell my kids no. I wanted to tell them that. I wanted to show them that there were options. You don't have to stick the coat hanger in the electrical socket. You know, saying no is an abrupt thing, but to talk to them and say, if you understand the repercussions of something,